The touchdown pass to the quarterback, Jim McMahon.
I think they'll go down as one of the greatest teams that's been on the field. They have talent. They're well organized. They're beautifully motivated, and their style is good.
After the game.
Big game tonight. San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears, two NFL heavyweights. Big name quarterbacks with full credentials. Joe Montana, two-time Super Bowl MVP. Jim McMahon, Chicago tough. He won the Super Bowl 3 years ago. Two coaches that know how to win big and win often. Bill Walsh, West Coast smooth. Tactical genius. Mike Ditka, blue-collar motivator, iron fist dictator. Two teams that reflect the styles of their coaches. Montana to Rice can win games from anywhere at any time. Chicago Bears defense, the monsters of the Midway. But when they kick it off, moments from now, in the crunch, it'll be Montana and McMahon. These two great leaders will stand tall with victory tonight. Montana or McMahon. A big Windy City showdown as the San Francisco 49ers meet the Chicago Bears on ABC's Monday Night Football.
Friendly skies.
Welcome to Soldier Field in Chicago. Sold out, of course. It's a beautiful fall evening here in Chicago. Temperature near 40 degrees. A beautiful harvest moon that helps accentuate the familiar skyline of the city of Chicago on Lake Michigan. And a classical NFL matchup coming your way. We're delighted you're with us for what we think could be one of the best games of our schedule this season. The San Francisco 49ers and the Chicago Bears. The 49ers coming in tonight 5-2. They need a win tonight to stay tied with the Rams and one behind New Orleans in the NFC.
Won it for Chicago was minus a very key ingredient, number 9, Jim McMahon last year.
And Al, you're right about Jim McMahon as a key ingredient because you cannot disregard the statistic. And it is simply this. The Chicago Bears have won 31 out of their last 33 regular season games that Jim McMahon has been their quarterback. I think it's really ironic at 1988, the year that the quarterback has been getting knocked out for the first time in any of his NFL seasons. McMahon tonight makes his 8th consecutive start, something new for number 9. But I think if you're the 49ers looking at the Bears, you have to look at the fearsome pass rush. 4 quarterbacks have been knocked out already this year by the Bear defense. Last week, in their final game before tonight, they knocked out Danny White and Steve Pulor. So for Joe Montana tonight, it's 2 things. First, you must survive. And then if you survive, maybe you have a chance to win.
Making 8 consecutive starts at the beginning of a season. At the 31-yard line, and behind him, Neil Anderson and Matt Suhey coming back after he was sparingly used last year. McKinnon and Gentry are the wideouts, and the veteran Emery Moorhead is the tight end. Colbert is still on injured reserve, so Wojciechowski is the left tackle. Borch, Hilgenberg, Thayer, and Van Horn. From the third, to catch the ball. The 3-4 for San Francisco. Stover is on injured reserve. It's Roberts, Carter, and Fagan up front. Haley Ellison comes back after an injury last week, and Walter, the linebackers. McKyer got burned twice last week, with Wright starting at the other corner, and Fuller and Latta are the safeties. Montana The San Francisco starter with Steve Young in reserve, and they also signed Todd Santos last week, but he's been waived as Craig and Rathman are the running backs, Weiss and Wilson the wideouts, and Heller the tight end. And there's the offensive line, anchored by the man in the middle, the longtime guard, now center, Randy Quinn. Behind him. Up front, Bears. And McMichael and Hampton in particular have been outstanding, especially of late. Singletary, as usual, doing a stellar job in the middle. They start Mickey Pruitt, a rookie, at one outside spot, and David Tate, a rookie.
And if you think Joe Montana had a lot of noise last time, listen to this.
You look at these two coaches, and these teams literally take on the character of their coaches. The Bears, they're kind of bullish in a way. They'll knock you down. If you're staggering, they'll hit you again. 49ers, they like to jab. They like to give you a little bit of a hook. They're finesse so many things, and that really is almost characteristic of the two coaches.
There's Singletary trying to adjust the defense as the snap, and Craig is stopped at the 20, but a penalty at the inception of the play at the 21-yard line. It's Singletary who makes the tackle.
And I think the 49ers moved early. Left side of the 49er offensive line jumped out, trying to get out in front of that play and pulling. And Mike Singletary going to march him back again.
And now as we look at Mike Singletary, we're going to take a good look at him at halftime. He's a very fascinating man, but Mike Ditka said, we want to stop them from getting outside. They love to get outside. They have an offensive line that's unique, perhaps in the NFL, in that they can pull well, they can trap well, but said we must stop them from getting outside, and they had to be pleased with that one.
Stop the Rams. The Rams have been running wild against everyone. Over a 55-game span, as you take a look at it, the Chicago Bears, and that goes back to the 1984 season, equal to the second-best mark over that span in the history of the NFL. 11, McMahon out of the shotgun from the 8-yard line. Four-man rush, going deep and open, Kozlowski, and he makes the catch at the 46-yard line. Glenn Kozlowski, who just came into the game as the extra wide receiver, and a big first down. And again, he beats McKyer.
Yeah, the life of a cornerback we couldn't talk all night and capsulize it any better than these last two plays by Tim McKyer. One, a sensational play to knock it away, this time beaten badly on a fly pattern.
But the Bears are going there, and McKyer has had his problems. And Kozlowski, who made this football team as a replacement player a year ago, has another big catch. His first regular season catch was a
3rd and 7 from the 35-yard line. Craig on a sweep to the outside, broken up by the Bears. And that's why Chicago's #1 in defense, Harris and Richardson, come up despite the two pulling guards for the 49ers.
And again, they
2nd and 2 from the 41-yard line. Pressure is on, and Montana has to eat it at the 26-yard line. McMichael gets the sack.
Well, that's a screen that's set up by the 49ers. And it's read by the Bears, and Joe really has nowhere to go with the football. Going to be a screen pass out to the left side of the 49er formation. Take a look at this. Watch the number of people inside here for the 49ers are going to work down to the line of scrimmage out here. And this is a setup all the way for Montana to dump it. They fake their pass blocks. Now they release down the line of scrimmage. And there's just no way that Joe can deliver that ball. The Bears collapse the pocket, and he has to eat it. What a big loss.
McMichael having a great year. That's his 7th sack.
3rd and 16 from the 27-yard line. And flags and delay of game as the clock had run down. Johnny Greer.
Delay. Offense. Go for it down.
3rd down and 21 now.
Defense is so disruptive. They almost become self-generating. They seem to start low emotionally and then build and build and build, and they continue to build.
Montana sacked at the 13-yard line. Al Harris comes all the way around. Dan Hampton put the pressure on from the inside, and Dent from the other side.
And good coverage downfield. Montana had a quick release man, but he did not even have time to get to him. Release man, but he did not even have time to get to him.
The 49ers are taking a calculated risk. They're only going to send 2 receivers into the pattern and watch Jerry Rice up here get knocked down. Joe Montana really has nowhere to throw the football. They keep everyone else in for protection. You only have 2 guys in the pattern, and one of them's down on the ground. Where the heck is Joe Montana going to go with the football?
Except down. He's twice in a row for 23 yards. Helton gets the kick away, a low bouncing kick that McKinnon fields on the run at the 45-yard line, and he's out of bounds at the 37. So Montana frustrated, and the Bears with their best field position of the game at the 37. 5 minutes to play in the half.
McMahon trying to explain where it all went wrong. Suey, the versatile back that he is, corrected the air, who obviously was not his. Worked it back inside, made something out of nothing.
Well, you're getting the impression so far that this is not going to be a high-scoring ball game, and the Chicago Bears are in no position to squander this kind of field position. They've got to make something happen.
2nd and 6 from the 33-yard line. McMahon going deep for Anderson. He makes the catch. Inbounds at the 1.
Oh, and that was threaded in there beautifully. Anderson just coming from the wing position. Just kept it on the outside, and McMahon threw it in beautifully.
Not only that, but I think he's working against a defensive back in Jeff Fuller. It's Jeff Fuller who is lined up at the line of scrimmage here, number 49. And you'd think in that situation, defensive back on a running back, that the advantage goes with the defense. But Neil Anderson runs a good route, and give the credit there to Jim McMahon. You could not have thrown that any better.
Gave the ball to McKinnon on a reverse to score a touchdown.
I wonder what that percentage is inside the 1-foot line.
Yeah, right.
I think it's a little higher.
You know, it's interesting, that last conversation on the sidelines, McMahon came over to talk to Ditka. Anderson came over with him. And I'm sure he was saying, let me try that one more time, Coach.
They send Suey in motion and bring him back the other way, and it's McMahon. He's in for the touchdown. He only needed 2 inches, and he got 3 to the chagrin of the 49ers.
Oh, they're not. The 49ers aren't buying that at all.
That was a very close read. The guy on the bottom of that thing for sure is going to be Michael Carter. Big number 95, and one of the strongest nose men you're going to find.
49ers couldn't have played that much better, but when you only have to move the ball about an inch.
And after tonight, the 49ers at Minnesota, Phoenix, the Raiders, and followed by Washington, the game will bring you, and then San Diego, Atlanta, New Orleans. It's going to be a tough one.
That's the problem you have the following year after you finish first, as they did last year. You play that tough schedule.
And look at the problems the 49ers are having communicating.
And the clock is down to 7 seconds, the 45-second clock. Loose ball.
They're going to call it down. The Bears will retain possession.
Rivera pouncing on it, but Heller comes up with it.
Roger Craig that time comes around and really gets stamped by the Bears. He gets a high-low job, and the ball comes loose. And watch out for the crowd again. They're not going to make it easy for the 49ers.
Rivera, of course, is the man who's playing a spot vacated by Wilbur Marshall. And Otis Wilson's out with injury, and, of course, the famed trade by Wilbur Marshall to the Redskins.
On 2nd and 10, Montana rolling out, throwing, had a man open, but intercepted by Duerson. Montana underthrowing his receiver, and the Bears are back in business again in 49er territory.
Well, all Dave Duerson does is go to the Pro Bowl. Doesn't matter whether it's at free safety, strong safety. Out of Notre Dame, Dave Duerson just reads this perfectly, because from now on, it's nothing but improvisation. Montana's forced out of the pocket and makes a horrible throw, trying to get the ball to Heller, and serves it up on a platter. Just drops it in nicely there for Dave Duerson.
Big, hard-hitting safety that can come up and play the run and play the interception.
Maybe back later this year.
Second down and 6 for Chicago. A fake reverse. Anderson inside the 20. Run out of bounds by Fuller at the 19. A first down. Tom Thayer sprung him with a block on the cornerback. He took Tim McKyer right out of the play. In Florida. As he picks up a first down at the 19-yard line. Suey goes in motion. And McMahon gives the ball to Anderson. Anderson takes it to the 10. It'll be second down and 1. Jeff Fuller makes the tackle. And
I told you the system works.
Right. That was a quick review. All right. From the 27-yard line, first down. Craig. He's dropped by Rivera. Hit initially by Dent, and then tackled by Rivera, a loss of 2. And Craig, who gained 190 yards against the Rams last week, has gained -4 tonight.
And I don't 8 yards.
First and 10, San Francisco at the 33-yard line. Fake to Rathman, and look out, Montana gets sacked. Richard Dent.
That wasn't a fake. He tried to give it to him. He wanted to give it to him. Rathman either didn't want to take it, and Joe just held on to it. No, I guess it was, too.
Well, it's a trap setup. I mean, McIntyre, the right guard, pulls as if he's going to trap. I mean, watch the right guard, McIntyre. See him dropping, he pulls. But no,
it was all the way. But I saw the pulling guard. They made it look awfully good.
You could see it was a play pass all the way by the way that Montana held the football away from Rathman. He could have.
Third down, 16 from the 39-yard line after the timeout. Montana pressured. Throws for Heller, throws behind him, and incomplete.
How about Richard Dent?
Again, pretty good little series there for Richard Dent.
Yeah, he comes on the loop to the inside. Take a look at this guy. Watch the loop to the inside. Dan Hampton works to the outside, and Steve Wallace, the left tackle, never even has a chance.
He couldn't even tackle him. He made the attempt.
Initially, he had to make a determination. Is this guy a linebacker or a defensive lineman? You know,
and then a decent drive, but that bogged down, and they had to kick it again. From the 46-yard line. Rathman stuffed after a gain of 1 by big number 99, Dan Hampton, in his 10th year out of Arkansas and playing as well as ever.
Well, he's really playing where he belongs, and that's on the inside. Dan Hampton has alternated during the course of his career, playing defensive tackle, playing defensive end, and he's really much more effective playing on the inside. Remember, we're in Philadelphia a couple weeks ago, and you never get in a conversation with Buddy Ryan without him talking about his favorite Bear players, Dan Hampton being one of those, and the first thing Buddy says is, well, at least they've got him back on the inside where he really belongs.
The Christians and the Lions.
And the crowd contemplating the thumbs up or the thumbs down for the 49er offense, and I think you can hear thumbs down is the rule.
Third down and 13 after the timeout from the 23-yard line. Montana, short drop and a sack at the 17-yard line. Richard Dent in the neighborhood very much.
So you better slow him a little bit at the line of scrimmage. You give him about a 3 or 4 sprint. No way you're going to pick him up at the back.
He's actually knocked down. Richard jumps over the top of the lone setback in the 49er backfield. I mean, he's going to land on his head if he doesn't land on top of Joe Montana. There's Tom Rathman. Watch him go to cut Richard Dent. Actually does cut him, but he lands right on top of Joe Montana.
A 33-yard punt.
You're going to block Dent. You're a setback. You better be moving up towards Dent. You wait for him. That's what you get.
The clock at the 2-minute warning. So in essence, a 3 timeout. And I think Steve Young right there.
It's a tough decision. You're right to make that call. You've got the number 1 defense. They've handled the 49ers thus far. Now we're going to see Steve Young
to win this ball game. And they're walking up to the line of scrimmage.
A tight formation with Rice on a wing to the right. They send Jerry in motion, and on 4th and 2, a straight drop. Young lost it for Craig, but Craig is hit at the 46-yard line and stopped short of the first down by Duerson.
An all-pro play by an all-pro. So Ditka's gamble doesn't hurt them. And I think most people would agree you should punt away, but when you got the #1 defense.
Chicago 10, San Francisco 9. A reminder, Saturday on ABC's road winning streak comes to an inglorious